Welcome back. Well, rain and storms will continue for several hours more, but the severe weather threat is greatly diminished, and boy, it was a volatile one late this morning into early this afternoon with very intense storms and a long track tornado that the likes of which we have not seen in a good 5, 10, maybe even 15 years or longer. We'll see how it all fleshes out after the National Weather Service does their survey on that storm that went through portions of Vernon into Rapides Parish. But more on that in just a bit. First off, though, let's take a look to see what's going on. Big picture, this is all part of a snowstorm that's producing snow from the nation's heartland through the Midwest into the Northeast, where there are winter weather advisories. Meanwhile, farther to the south and east, it's been severe weather, and still a severe weather threat continues across portions of Mississippi into Alabama. We have one severe thunderstorm warning going south of the Birmingham area, but overall, things are quieting down, and locally, we continue to see showers and storms, but things quiet. Here's a 12-hour loop, and this is the cell that went through the Alexandria area, and we'll go through it again. But then pretty much a squall line pushing on through, and as expected, a lot weaker than those storms, those individual discrete loner cells that we saw out ahead of the squall that was developing earlier today. But we'll pick it up here and watch this cell right here. This is the cell that produced the tornado. More than likely, I'm thinking an EF2 tornado. We interrogated it on velocity and came up at 141-mile-an-hour winds. Again, we're shooting that at elevation, but more than likely that could have transferred to the ground. That's an EF2 tornado, but we'll have to wait and see. Locally, we do see more activity offshore. Most of the rain beginning to taper from the west, mainly from extreme southwest Louisiana, but on and off rain and storms next couple of hours through Lafayette, and then a little bit longer, maybe up until about 2 o'clock in the morning for Iberia and St. Mary parishes, and also lower St. Martin Parish. Lafayette, we're still seeing some moderate rainfall. Got a pretty hefty cell over here by the St. Martinville area, moving through upper St. Martin Parish. This is going to bypass Henderson just to the south and move out into the basin. And then farther south we go. We still have some locally heavy downpours just moving through Abbeville. This is going to be working its way up through Milton, Youngsville, Broussard as well, and some locally heavy downpours also by New Iberia. And then farther south and east, this is the frontal boundary. It still hasn't worked its way all the way through St. Mary Parish. You see those storms continuing there, but no severe weather threat at this point. We'll monitor the storms just in case as we go deeper into the nighttime hours. And again, not tracking a whole lot. Some of these cells may produce some small hail, but the computer overdoes it on the cells on when it's tracking these storms on whether there's hail, and it does the same thing on your app. There's no way we could control that as well. So here's that long track tornado that was on the ground for more than likely at least somewhere between 63 miles. It may not have been continuously on the ground, but we tracked it for the better part of 60 miles and for the better part of an hour. And that EF2 velocity, as I told you, recorded right just to the west of Alexandria, was right at 141 miles an hour. So that is a potent tornado for sure. Here's the big picture, and this is how it unfolded during the course of the day today with the tornadoes locally, and then piling up on the storms and storm reports as we headed into late this evening. And you can see how they continue to blossom out. And just taking a look at the numbers in total, 216 reports of severe weather so far, 12 injuries. I think we're up to 3 unofficial fatalities, unfortunately. And the number of tornadoes pretty high across Louisiana into Mississippi and Alabama. The total number of tornadoes sitting at 38 right now. So again, certainly when the Storm Prediction Center put out an enhanced risk and it upgraded to a moderate risk this morning, the storms really verified on that. So great work by those folks that make those forecasts at the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. So showers beginning to wind down. Here we are at 2 o'clock in the morning, breezy and colder with the clouds lingering. We get down into the 40s and we stay in the 40s much of tomorrow. We clear out maybe right around sunset. Then the cold air sets in. We'll be heading down into the lower 30s. Wind chills come Wednesday morning in the 20s, and it stays cool but mostly sunny for Wednesday. So temperature-wise tonight, we get down into the low to mid 40s. Tomorrow we stay in the 40s most of the day. Wind chills stay in the 30s for a good part of the day. Then tomorrow night, temperatures dip down into the low to mid 30s. There's your chill in the upper 20s. And then at least on Wednesday, we get into the mid 50s. But with clear skies and high pressure moving in for Wednesday night, we're going to be a little bit colder and a moderate to heavy frost expected. So cover the plants for tomorrow night and also for Wednesday night into Thursday morning. morning. So clouds first thing in the morning. They break up late in the day. Wind chills mostly in the 30s. And by this time tomorrow night, we'll just be plain old clear and cold, wearing our winter jackets once again. And as we go through the next 5 days, some chilly weather as we go through the middle part of the week. Maybe a few showers come late Friday night into Saturday. Maybe a few sprinkles on Sunday. Unsettled and cool. But then eventually temperatures warming up. In fact, getting mild, we think, as we head into Christmas, with temperatures getting back into the low to mid 70s along about the middle part of next week. So those looking for super cold air for Christmas is not going to happen. And by the way, the official winter solstice gets here this weekend. That's just astronomically speaking, but we're technically already in meteorological winter. And when meteorological winter starts around here, we have a secondary severe weather season, and that's usually late November into December.
Keeps you guys busy like today. Thanks.